Hello everyone! Lesson 25 today. I do not know what anything is for. I have a special guest with me. This is my son Kaelum Zen. I just thought it'd be nice for him to hang out with us during this lesson. So here we are. So I do not know what anything is for. And he starts off with saying right away, purpose is meaning. So God has given purpose to everything in the world, in that he has made everything one with us in the world, and that is its meaning. But as he says here, we do not know what anything is for, because we're still seeing separate meanings, separate values. We're seeing meaninglessness because we're projecting ego onto things. And this doesn't work for us, ultimately, because it's not showing the true meaning of what the purpose is. So when he says we do not know what anything is for, we don't understand its real purpose. And he gives the example of a phone, that we understand the functioning of a phone, but we don't understand why it is that we would want to communicate with someone truly. What is the real reason behind that? What is it that we are really wanting to communicate about? That is what we are not clear on. That we think we have our ideas, and as we were talking about yesterday, we don't know our own best interests. So the reason that we think would be best to contact someone for perhaps really isn't in our highest alignment, because it's coming from our own vested interest of what we think is best, not what actually is the most win-win situation that would come from Holy Spirit. And as we go through this process, you will start to know that difference between the Holy Spirit's guidance and that knowing of what is best, and just thinking and surmising through your own understandings. That will become a very distinct difference in your mind. So you perceive the world and everything in it as meaningful in terms of ego goals. So you understand the meaning of things in terms of what you think it can give you, what you can get from it. Not what you, a hint here is ultimately we understand the purpose of anything and how well it is helpful in us being able to give to others. That is true meaning. Because in giving to others, that's when we receive the understanding of what we are, that we are all one, and that is the greatest gift we can give ourselves and anyone around us. So, as he said, we don't know what things are for, because we only understand them in terms of what we can get from them, right? And as a result of that, we're bound to misuse things, because we're not seeing it truly. We're seeing it through a very finite perspective of what it possibly could be used for and what we think we can try and get from it, right? Which is not, as I said, not ultimately what we are about. We are meant to communicate and recognize unity and holiness. That is the only source of true happiness, not projecting more separation. So, hello. So another way of describing your goals now is to perceive them as valuable, is to say that they are all concerned with personal interests. So that's just another way of saying our ego is the idea of a separate self, right? It's the idea of this attachment to the personality. Ego still has a personality, but we wouldn't understand it as separate any longer. That we would understand it as part of the whole, and as our part to play in our role that God has given us in the salvation of the world. Because each of us have our own unique role to play in the salvation. That each of us have our own unique gifts and talents that we have our heart's desire aligned with, so that we feel passionate and happy when we are offering that to the world. And it feels amazing, and there's a reason for that, right? So, as it says here, at the most superficial level, we recognize purpose, as he was talking about with the phone, that we understand what something is technically for. I understand my iPhone is for communication, and I can text people and do these videos and so on and so forth, but unless it comes from the Holy Spirit, I don't really know what it is that I would use the communication device for, and what it is that I'm offering, right? Because I still would see it through my own vested interests. The reason why I've been doing these videos, for example, is because this is not Rebecca's idea. This is Holy Spirit's idea. This is something I was asked to do. This is something I've been called to do. And every word that I speak, I'm offering over of what is most helpful for me to share in your eyes, through your words, through your expressions, right? For this helpful purpose. So it is crucial to your learning to be willing to give up the goals you have established for everything. So he says multiple times during the text of be willing to question every single belief, every single purpose, everything that you have ever projected onto anything. be willing to question it. Let it be replaced with true holiness and true happiness. Not just what you think you want, but what you actually want. And that will be so clearly shown to you when you let go of what you think you want. So I've been doing this all day and I've really enjoyed it. Like, I do not know what this is for. I do not know what that is for. That I'll just look around no matter what I've been doing. I think I did it about 7 times or so today. And I really enjoyed that feeling that would come about the 30-second mark. And then what I would come out of after the 2 minutes, I'm feeling like, wow, like, I don't feel like I have to know what anything is for. There's zero pressure on my interactions with the world. That I understand that if there is anything that has any meaning, that it will be shown to me, and it will be given me, and it will be effortless. And that I don't feel like anything is separate from me. Because I don't know, I don't see, I no longer perceive separate meanings and separate interests, and that was the vision that I was receiving, is that all these things are the same. Because they are all part of God's creation, and that they are part of our mind, and we are God's creation. So let me repeat that again. Everything is part of God because we are part of God, and this world is an extension of our minds. So even though we can see fear in it, as we've been talking about for many days now, there is a light behind it that is the truth, that we can see, but we need to ask for it by relinquishing our own ideas and being open to receiving Holy Spirit's instead. So as we've talked about many times, this is all about relinquishing your separate ideas to receive your real ideas, which are completely holy and completely happy and completely unified. So this is the other part I want to talk about in the first paragraph. Everything is for your own best interest because it is an extension of God. And you can see everything that way through Holy Spirit. But when you see things as ego devices, of course you're going to see things that are more valuable than others. But if you see it through the eyes of Holy Spirit, you recognize that each and every instance and each and everything that is present at any time is absolutely part of your best interest, and that you can see it wholly and can be, and as he talks about in the text, that every moment is an opportunity to see salvation or damnation. And you could see that in a pencil. You could see that in another person as well. And oftentimes people will have revelations just by looking at an inanimate object and having its meaning shift for them. And that's what's so powerful in this lesson here. So everything is for your own best interest because there's nothing that is separate from you, ever. Everything truly is holy and part of the whole. So everything is for your own best interest. That is what it is for. That is its purpose. That is what it means. It is in recognizing this that your goals become unified. So we no longer live in a hierarchy of preferences that we feel like we have to maintain. And I love that point as he was saying yesterday. Like when we actually look at our goals and what we think our best interests are, we realize that many of them can be conflictive to one another. And then we're asking of a situation something that it doesn't really have to offer. So this way we are starting to realize that every single moment and everything that is present around us has our best interest in mind when we see it correctly. Because nothing is separate from God. Because nothing is separate from us. We are all completely unified. And this is a vision that you can see, and this is an experience that you will have when your willingness is there. And I really enjoyed experiencing that today. So I feel as though that is all that was to be shared at this time. Give you another glance at my little shmush. Kaelum. Hi. Yeah. In my messy closet. So anyway, I love you all so much, and we shall see you tomorrow. Bye.